Hey there everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video, we are going to be looking at how to do the planning and investigation 7 mark question for IGCSE Physics 0625. So this is usually going to be the fourth question that you're going to counter. So let's look at this question and try to solve it. It says, a student investigates the resistance of different wires. Okay. Plan an experiment to investigate the resistance of different wires made from different metals. Now, there's an easy acronym that you can use, I don't care or IDC, which is taken from Learn Today IGCSE, her channels or credits to her. So what it basically means is that first, identify what your independent variable is, your dependent variable, and your constant variable, so that it becomes easier when you're answering the question. But over here, you can see that I'm investigating the resistance, okay? So I'm investigating the resistance of different wires. Then it says over here, plan an experiment to investigate the resistance of wires made from different metals. So now different metals will have an impact on the resistance of wires, which means that this becomes my independent variable and this becomes my dependent variable. Now coming to the constant variable, there's something I'll look at further in the question because it's actually stated over here. Okay. So reading the question, it says resistance can be calculated using the formula resistance is voltage over current. The following apparatus is given. So I have been giving ammeter, a voltmeter, power supply, meter ruler, and a selection of wires from different metals. Okay. You can also use other apparatus and materials that are available in the school laboratory, in your plan, blah, 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 blah. Now, this is how you're going to do this. Planning an investigation question for physics is generally easier than biology and physics because it has given you a list of what it wants and how you're going to get your marks. So this question tells me that I need to answer this, and this. Okay, so let's look at each one bullet by bullet. So it says, first of all, write a list, okay, of suitable metals for the wires you will investigate. Now, when it's saying list, that of course means that you're not supposed to list, maybe you're not supposed to mention just one wire or two. You should give a minimum of three for something like listing, okay? So over here, you can see that I've listed copper, iron, aluminium, and nichrome wires. So these are different metals that I'll investigate the resistance of. Now it says draw a diagram of a suitable electrical circuit. Okay, electrical circuit using standard electrical symbols. Now over here, what it means is that for electrical symbols, right, you're using the standard versions of them. For example, if I am to draw a lamp, I'll have to draw it like this. I can't possibly come and draw a lamp like this and expect them to give me the marks. This is wrong, but this is correct. Okay, so that is what they mean by using the standard electrical symbols that are taught to you by your teacher. If you don't know them, go to the syllabus. All of them are listed over there. Explain briefly how you'll carry out the investigation. So before moving on there, let's look at this one that I have. So over here, you can see that I'm going to utilize everything that they have given me over here. Ammeter, voltmeter, power supply, meter ruler, and different wires. So over here, you can see that I have my power supply. I have my ammeter here. I have my voltmeter here. Now you may be wondering what this is that I have drawn over here. So these are basically crocodile wires, okay? Or crocodile clips rather, sorry. Croco Crocodile clips. Now this is the way I want to attach them to it. So this is the wire that I'll be changing. Okay, this is the wire that I'll be changing. So I'm just going to attach the crocodile clips to them. Or they're clips or chips? I think it's clips, yeah. Attach it to them and then remove them once I'm done with them and then replace it with another one. So over here, I'll measure my current. Over here, I'll measure my voltage. Now, watch carefully. As you can see, I've attached the voltmeter in a parallel form and the ammeter in a this one, a series form, which is really important. Okay, don't think that that's only for paper 4. You have to make sure it applies everywhere throughout physics. So this is how I'm going to do it. Okay, I'm going to turn on my power supply. I'll set my current, okay, and then I'll measure the I'll measure the voltage that's over here on the reading over here. Okay, I'll measure the reading here. I'll measure the reading in the ammeter. Then I'll use this formula to simply calculate what the resistance is. Okay. Then it says explain briefly how to carry out this investigation. Now you don't need to keep it very long. Okay. I think this is another one that you could use from Learn Today IGCSE, which is monkey really rocks. Okay, which means that M stands for measure. What are you going to measure? What are you going to record? And what are you going to repeat? Okay, so that's something you can also use, but I've explained it in simple terms over here. So I've told them that set up the experiment as shown in the diagram above over here. Okay, select one of the wire made of a particular metal. Okay, then you could also add and attach it to the crocodile chips so that you tell them that you have added crocodile chips. Measure the voltage from the voltmeter and the current from the ammeter. Perfect. Now I have my voltage, I have my current. Then it says explain, yeah, done. So state the key constant, key variables to keep constant. Now questions like this generally require you to know or have knowledge about something like this. Now you know we are talking over here about what wires, right? And I'm going to keep something constant and I'm calculating my resistance. Now you know resistance of a wire is affected by what? The diameter of it, diameter, its length, okay? So its length and also temperature. But yeah. So over here, since it's saying state key variables, I could basically say keep the diameter constant and keep the length of the wire constant. So as you can see, I have mentioned keep the length and diameter of the wire constant. And there you go. You get the marks there. Then it says draw a table or tables with column headings. Okay, it's important you add column headings to show how to display your readings. You're not required to very be like look what it says. You are not required to enter any readings in the table. I don't know why some people still go ahead and enter their readings. I don't think the examiner will deduct it, but why would you go there and write, come up with current and voltage and then calculate the resistance and spend so much time when you can simply go to the other metals, other parts of the question paper. So over here, I have drawn it like this. I have stated I'll first show that okay, this is the current I've recorded. I'll put it over here, 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 and here. Okay. Then the voltage I get from my voltmeter here, 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 here. Then I'll calculate resistance using the formula they gave me, and then I'll state over here which metal I used. Okay. Now, watch carefully. Over here, I have stated this symbol A for current in the column heading here. The same for this, the same for this, nothing for metal because metal doesn't have a symbol. You will be penalized. So, wait, anyways, you're not going to enter data over here, right? So you will be penalized if you do not add these symbols of what you're recording, okay? So make sure to add the symbols of what you're recording. Now you'll see that, oh, that's all. I'm done with the bullet points. I can move on to well, I can start going over the paper that I've written and all that. No, this is something you will add no matter what. You're always going to add that you repeat the experiment at least a particular amount of times. Okay, that's one part that you're going to write. Now you're going to tell them how you're going to reach a conclusion. Okay, so for this particular experiment, since I'm finding my metal and the resistance, these two, I can say that plot a bar graph with the metal on the x-axis and the resistance of the wire on the y-axis. So something like this. You do not have to draw this, but you have to write this. So something like this, okay? So that's a way I can reach a conclusion. Now, though it wasn't asked in this question, it generally and almost always is asked in other questions. So make sure to add that. And you can also add safety precautions, though it's not generally awarded marks. Now, is there anything? Yeah, so I think that's all you should be doing. Watch the video that I've posted on how you should prepare for this paper 6, and I think you should be fine. All the best, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, ta-da.